Hello, and welcome back to English in Minutes. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you're trying to learn English and often find yourself translating from your native language to English before you speak, then this video is just for you. Today, we're going to talk about a very powerful concept: how to train your brain to think in English. This is not only an important step for speaking fluently, but it also builds your confidence and helps you become a natural speaker. So, stay with me till the end, and let's dive deep into this exciting journey. Thinking in English is the secret ingredient that most fluent speakers have mastered. It means you don't have to pause and translate in your head every time you want to speak. When your thoughts form directly in English, your responses become quicker, your pronunciation improves, and your grammar becomes more natural. But the big question is, how can you make your brain start thinking in English, especially if you're living in a non-English speaking environment? The answer lies in creating English surroundings for your brain. Even if everything around you is not in English, start with labeling things around you in English. When you see your phone, say phone in your mind, not the word from your native language. If you're opening the door, think I'm opening the door. While brushing your teeth, tell yourself, I'm brushing my teeth. These small actions, repeated daily, build strong mental connections with the English language. At first, it may seem unnatural, but with time, your brain will get used to thinking in short English sentences. Let's do a small exercise together. Imagine it's morning. Say this in your mind with me. I'm getting out of bed. Now continue. I'm walking to the bathroom. Then say, I'm brushing my teeth. Think, I need to make coffee. I am pouring water into the kettle. I am sitting down and checking my phone. These are real thoughts from your real daily life. When you describe them in English, your brain begins to accept English as the default language of thought. Repeat this kind of practice each day, and you'll start noticing improvement in just a few weeks. The second important practice is speaking to yourself in English, either silently in your mind or out loud when possible. Talk to yourself like a friend. For example, if you're cooking dinner, you can say, let's chop the onions first. Or if you're feeling tired, say, I need a break. I've been working for 3 hours. These are simple sentences, but they're very effective. You are training your inner voice to speak English naturally, and that's the real goal here. Here's another useful practice. Describe what you see around you in English. If you're walking outside, say, the sun is shining, the sky is clear, that man is walking his dog, a red car just passed by. If you're in a bus, say, there are 10 people here, the bus is moving slowly, I'm getting off at the next stop. These real-time observations help your brain stay in English mode. The more you describe your environment in English, the more automatic it becomes. Now let's do another practice. Close your eyes and imagine you are in a kitchen. Start thinking in English. Say in your mind, I'm opening the fridge, I see a bottle of milk, I take it out. I'm pouring the milk into a glass, I'm drinking it, the milk is cold. Can you feel how your brain starts connecting thoughts in English? That's exactly what we want. Keep doing this kind of thinking practice every day. One of the best ways to train your brain to think in English is through repetition and consistency. When you repeat the same sentence structures over and over in real situations, your brain begins to store those patterns. For example, if you often say, I'm going to the store, your brain gets used to that rhythm and meaning. Later, you can say, I'm going to the park, or I'm going to the office. Without much effort, the key is to build a mental library of common sentence forms. The more you use them, the faster they come to your mind. Think about your routine. What do you say often in your native language? Try to find the English versions of those expressions and use them daily. Phrases like, what time is it? Where is my phone? I'm hungry. I need to finish this. Let's go out. These are small, useful thoughts that should live in your mind in English. Try practicing them every morning. When you wake up, just start saying to yourself in English, I feel sleepy. I need to take a shower. Today, I have a lot to do. Let's begin with breakfast. When you start your day thinking in English, your mind will stay tuned to the language for hours. Now, here's another effective way to make your brain stay in English, using imaginary conversations. This may sound funny at first, but it's very powerful. You imagine you are talking to someone in English, even if no one is actually there. For example, imagine you are meeting a new person. In your mind, start the conversation. Hi, my name is Sarah. Then imagine the reply. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm John. Then continue. Where are you from? I'm from Canada. And you? This type of mental dialogue builds conversation skills and pushes your brain to form complete English thoughts without switching to your native language. You can practice this while walking alone, waiting in a queue, or lying in bed at night. Think of different scenarios: ordering food, asking for directions, chatting with a friend, and try to talk through them in your mind in English. It's like rehearsing real life in your head, and it improves both thinking and speaking fluency. Here's a practice you can do now. Imagine you're in a coffee shop. Think to yourself, I would like a cappuccino, please. Then the barista says, Would you like sugar? You reply, Yes, 1 spoon, please. Then they say, Anything else? You say, No, that's all. Thank you. Practicing like this daily makes you ready for real conversations and helps your brain stay active in English. Another practical method is using English when making decisions. For example, when you're choosing what to wear, ask yourself, should I wear the blue shirt or the white one? When you're at the store, think, is this too expensive? Or, do I really need this? Use English in your thoughts as you solve problems or make choices. Your inner dialogue should slowly shift from your native language to English. This may be slow at first, but with time, your decisions and even emotions will be expressed naturally in English. Now let's do a practice together. Focused on decision making. Imagine you are planning your day. Say to yourself, First, I will go to the gym. Then I will work on my project. After lunch, I'll visit the market. In the evening, I'll call my friend. See how the thoughts are clear and direct? You are planning in English, which means your brain is operating in English. Do this kind of exercise every day, even for small things like planning what to cook or what movie to watch. Using English apps and tools can also be helpful. Change the language settings on your phone or social media to English. This may seem simple, but it forces your brain to recognize words like settings, notifications, messages, and search. Every time you unlock your phone, your brain is exposed to English. Over time, this becomes part of your subconscious learning. Let's take a moment to practice inner thinking. While using your phone, imagine you pick up your phone. Say, I'm checking my notifications. I have 3 new messages. I'll reply later. Let me check the news. Nothing important today. These micro thoughts become powerful learning tools when repeated regularly. If you do this every day, thinking in English will soon become a habit. You don't have to force anymore. One powerful tool that often gets ignored is storytelling. When you tell yourself short stories in English, you force your brain to create a beginning, middle, and end using only English vocabulary. This is a wonderful way to build grammar naturally, develop fluency, and think in a structured way. You can make the stories as simple as you like. For example, imagine a day in the life of a student. Say in your mind, He woke up late. He rushed to get ready. He missed the bus. He ran to school. He was tired, but he smiled when he saw his friends. These small narratives help you stay connected to English in a creative and engaging way. Let's try creating another simple story together. Imagine a girl named Anna. Now say, Anna loves cats. One day, she found a small kitten outside her house. It was cold and hungry. She picked it up and brought it home. She gave it milk and a warm blanket. The kitten felt safe. Anna decided to keep it and named it Snowy. Every day, Snowy followed Anna around the house. This kind of story trains your brain to think smoothly in English. You don't need fancy words, just real situations with simple language. Make it a habit to tell yourself a short story daily in your mind. Over time, these little stories become your brain's way of building fluency. Another excellent technique is using memory recall, that is, thinking back on your day. But in English, before you go to sleep, try to replay your entire day in English, in your mind. Think, I woke up at 7. I made coffee. I took a shower. I had a meeting at 10. I went for lunch with a friend. I came home and watched a movie. This not only helps your brain practice English, but also improves your ability to structure sentences and remember vocabulary naturally. It becomes like a diary in your mind, and it's all in English. Let's do a memory recall exercise together. Close your eyes and think about what you did this morning. Now say in your mind, I got out of bed. I looked at my phone. I replied to a message. I brushed my teeth. I drank a glass of water. I had breakfast with eggs and toast. I listened to music while getting ready. I left home at 9. Notice how each sentence is simple, but your brain is doing the work in English. This regular practice rewires your thinking patterns and speeds up your English fluency. Another helpful habit is describing your feelings. In English, emotions are a big part of daily life, and being able to think about them in English helps you express yourself better. If you're feeling nervous, say in your mind, I feel nervous. I have an interview today. If you're happy, say, I'm feeling good. Today was a nice day. If you're tired, think, I need to rest. My body feels heavy. Connecting emotions to English vocabulary helps you become fluent in a personal and expressive way. Let's try a practice together. Think about how you feel right now. Say in your mind, I'm calm, I'm focused, I'm learning something new. Or maybe you think, I'm a little tired, but I want to keep practicing. These thoughts might seem small, but they create real progress. If you repeat this exercise each evening, identifying and describing your feelings in English, you will see a major improvement in your ability to think in the language. Lastly, don't worry about making mistakes while thinking in English. Your inner thoughts are private, and you're allowed to make errors. The goal is fluency, not perfection. When your brain is comfortable forming thoughts in English, without fear, you will start to feel more confident when you speak. Just keep thinking in English as often as possible. Think while eating, walking, cooking, waiting, relaxing. Every moment can be used to train your mind. Even 5-minute sessions of thinking in English throughout the day can add up to big changes in your fluency and confidence. One of the best ways to create a habit of thinking in English is to set small daily goals. Just like brushing your teeth or drinking water, train your mind to expect a moment of English thinking every day. For example, decide that during your breakfast time, you will only think in English, or, while walking to work, you'll describe everything around you in English in your mind. These habits may seem simple, but when you attach English thinking to a fixed part of your daily schedule, it becomes automatic over time. Let's say your goal is to think in English during dinner. While eating, you can say in your mind, I made rice and chicken. It smells delicious. I'm using a fork and spoon. I'm watching a video while eating. It might not feel natural in the beginning, but the goal is to stay consistent. Your brain loves patterns. The more you repeat this routine, the faster your brain will respond in English, without translation. Now, here's another useful technique: answering simple daily questions in English, in your mind, every day. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What will I do tomorrow? What am I feeling now? What do I need to buy? These are ordinary questions, but when answered in English, they strengthen your mental fluency. Let's try a full cycle. Ask yourself, what did I do today? Now think, I went to work. I completed my tasks. I talked to my manager. I bought some groceries. Now ask, what will I do tomorrow? Think, I will clean the house. I will call my cousin. I will go to the market in the evening. Do you see how naturally your thoughts can flow in English when you focus on real-life topics? A common mistake many learners make is trying to think in very advanced or complicated English. But in daily life, most thoughts are simple. We don't need long, formal sentences to talk to ourselves. In fact, simple English is more useful and more realistic. Instead of trying to say, I am presently in the process of preparing dinner, you can just say, I'm cooking now. It's short, clear, and exactly how native speakers think. To build fluency in everyday situations, let's try one more exercise. Imagine you are cleaning your room. Say in your mind, I'm picking up the clothes. I'm folding the shirts. I'm throwing trash away. I'm wiping the table. I'm making the bed. Now imagine you are preparing to sleep. Think, I'm turning off the lights. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm setting the alarm. I'm getting into bed. These thoughts are part of your real life. When you train your brain to speak them in English, fluency becomes natural. Another helpful idea is to use shadowing. Shadowing is the technique where you listen to a short English sentence and then repeat it immediately, either aloud or silently. But you can also do this mentally. For example, listen to a podcast or YouTube video in English. After each sentence, pause the audio and repeat the sentence in your head. This helps you think faster and build better sentence patterns. It's like training your mind to run, not just walk, in English. If you like music or movies, try to recall short lines or lyrics and repeat them mentally. For instance, if you watched a movie and heard someone say, "Let's get out of here," repeat that line in your head during the day. Think about when you would use that sentence in real life. This kind of mental repetition strengthens memory and helps you create emotional connections with the language. Also, if you like writing, keep a mini English journal just for yourself. It doesn't have to be formal or correct. Just write a few sentences each night in English, such as, today was a busy day. I worked hard. I'm feeling tired. I want to relax. After writing, read the sentences in your mind again and imagine yourself saying them. You are now training your mind to think, write, and hear English all at once. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you that thinking in English is not something that happens overnight. It's a process, and like any habit, it takes time to build. But the more you surround yourself with English, in your thoughts, actions, plans, and feelings, the more your brain will accept it as your everyday language. This mental switch is the real secret to fluency. It's not about memorizing 1,000 grammar rules. It's about building a relationship with the language to help you stay motivated, Remind yourself of your goals in English every day. Say in your mind, I want to speak fluently. I'm working hard. I'm getting better. These positive thoughts create energy and confidence. Don't be discouraged if your thoughts are slow at first. Even one correct sentence in your mind is a big win. With regular practice, your thoughts will speed up, your grammar will improve, your sentences will grow longer. One day, you'll notice that you're thinking, dreaming, and even feeling in English without even trying. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope this video helped you understand how to train your brain to think in English. If you found this helpful, make sure to keep practicing daily, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our English learning videos. I'm Natasha, and I'll see you again in the next episode of English in Minutes. Until then, keep learning and keep thinking in English.